Hello students, good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah,
Good
we could
afternoon,
discuss.
Good afternoon, madam.
Yes, tell me. Any doubt? Don't have any doubt in last class? Well, we have discussed this edge chromatic number, similar to vertex chromatic number, right? That is, if only chromatic number is written, then that is meant by this that vertex chromatic number. If edge chromatic number, that you denote it by chi-dash. Okay, this is also known as chromatic index, and we found for in general Pn and Cn. It was the edge chromaticity, that is edge chromatic index for Pn. Yes. Tell me. Chromatic index for P2.
2. Oh no, 1, 1, 1, 1.
One.
You have only one edge. How can you use two color? One, right? For this one, P3,
2.
2, P4,
2.
2.
into. So minimum 2, maximum it is number of edges, right? So we want minimum k, so that this is k is colorable. That's why this will be 2. What about Cn?
Ma'am, if n is odd, then 3.
If n is odd, then we have 3. N is even, then we
Two.
have 2. Alternate edges, that's the same color, right? Yeah, for K2, it is same as 1. What about for K3? K3 is 3. K4. K4 we have done it. Chromatic index for K4, it is 3. Right? We need 3. And for K5, it will be, I think, 6. You can check it. We need at least 6 color, at most 10 color.
Yes, ma'am.
So it is 6. Right? Then we discuss about some bounds. So this is the lower bound. Why is it so? The maximum degree is the lower bound of chromatic index.
Ma'am,
See,
minimum that much color is required.
minimum that much color is required because suppose V is the vertex with maximum degree, with delta degree, delta G, right? Degree of Vg is delta G. So this much delta G number of edges are incident with this vertex. That's why its degree is delta G, right? So all these delta G number of edges share this vertex. And whenever any 2 or more edges sharing a vertex, how to be differently colored, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So at least you need this much, right? Why at least this much? The other colors will be depending on these vertices, how these are linked, right? How these are adjacent or not, right? So that's why at least this one. For bipartite graph, it will be equal. It will be equal. This is at least delta z, and at most it is delta z plus 1. Okay, and for this is for simple graph. Whenever you don't have any multi-layers, then at most this one. Okay, and this is for all the graphs, at least this one. For bipartite graph, you have this is equality, right? You can check it for bipartite. K2 is bipartite, right? What is maximum degree? 1. And chromatic index 1, right? P3 is bipartite, or Pn, or any tree is bipartite, you can just say. You can take P3. For P3 you have 2. Maximum degree 2, right? Any tree is bipartite. So what do you have? Maximum degree. Yeah, in any tree, that will depend on the tree, na? How many edges are coming out of that maximum degree vertex. So that much number of colors you need, right? So color number 1, 2, 3, 4. And this can be colored by any of these 3, 1, 2, and 4, right? So you can use one color. So here again equal to delta Z. Chromatic index will be equal to delta Z. Clear? And in case of Cn, C2K, or you can just say C2K, even cycle, what do you have? Maximum degree is
2.
2, and chromatic index again 2, right? Alternatively, same color, right? Yeah. In case of
Ma'am,
yeah.
Ma'am, in tree maximum chromatic means chromatic number will be less than equal to n minus 1 in maximum case. In star,
Yeah, it will be less than equal to n minus 1. Yeah, that is makes that means
in star.
This is tree is, yeah, if you have star, n minus 1 vertices here, so n minus 1 edges, right? So you need all n minus 1 different color, right? All the edges to be differently colored. So in that case also, how many colors needed? Delta Z, right? Delta Z is what? N minus 1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
In this tree also, delta Z. So I'm just saying, as tree is bipartite, so this result hold for this, right? And you can verify over here. In any bipartite graph. This is also bipartite, Tn bipartite, any tree bipartite. Star is also bipartite. These are the part of trees. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What about kite? Chromatic index for kite. Three. 1, 2, 3. Then this 3 and 2 are
1.
Colored, that is are adjacent to this one, so we can use 1 here, 1 and 2 again 1, so 3. Chromatic index is minimum number of colors, is that this is edge coloring, proper edge coloring is there, so kite is your 3. What about maximum degree? Edge also 3.
3.
Right? So if someone says that is this only for bipartite graph, it's not true, right? So for bipartite graph, we are sure that it will be equal, right? But for there are non-bipartite graph as well, for which we have this is equality holds, right? Okay. That means if this is equal, then you cannot say the graph will be bipartite, right? So if graph is bipartite, then This equality holds. Okay. So if
Ma'am,
someone say, yeah,
can you give some example?
I'm saying that if G is bipartite, okay, G is bipartite, this is your P statement, implies chromatic index will be equal to delta of G, right? Is the converse true? This statement is true. For any bipartite graph, if you will find it, that will be equal to maximum degree. And that I verified in many bipartite graph. In general also you can prove it. Yeah. What about Q implies P? Is the converse true? Q implies P. That means if chromatic index is equal to maximum degree, then G is bipartite.
No.
May not be. Example is over here, right? We have 3, 3. For kite, we have chromatic index 3 and that is capital delta, that is maximum degree is also 3. But this graph is non-bipartite. Clear? Now, what can I say about contrapositive of this statement? Contrapositive of this statement will be same as P implies Q, right? We have P implies Q. So contrapositive also should be all right. So here, if this is not equal, that is chromatic index is not equal to delta, then you can surely say that G will not be bipartite. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. For simple graph, it will be at most delta G plus 1. Okay. Yeah. Then we were discussing for K2N. For K2, K4, then K6, and so on. We take these two examples. Yeah. For K2, edge coloring, how you color? Just you need one color, right? So this forms the matching. Everything is this as. Yeah. In K2, how you will color the edges of K4? Yes. In K2N, what you do? One vertex in the middle, and other are surrounding this vertex, right? Clear? This is in K6, it will work. So like we did over here, K4. So what you do? This edge can get blue color. Then these two edges, no? Then what do you do?
Ma'am, alternate edge can.
Alternate edges, right? This one, then this one. This one, this one. This one is red, so this can't be red. This can be red. This can't be red and blue. So this one. This is the edge coloring, right?
Yes, ma'am.
In K4. So what you do? One way is this one. Another way will be, see, first color class, that is blue color class. I'm just saying color class number 1, A1 or A. This is getting this blue, this edge E1. Okay, E1 is there. E2 is not there. E3. This is E3. This is your E4. E5. E6. Okay, E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6. So E1 is there, E3 is there, right? These are independent edges. So this forms the color class. Next, E2. E2 and E4 cannot be E6, right? E2 and E6. These edges are getting the same color. A3 is, tell me, E4 and E5. Clear? So these are the color classes. This is blue color class. This is your red color class. This is your green color class. Clear? So if you have all the edges of this K4, edges of K4, edge set of K4, can you write this as disjoint union of these color classes?
Yes,
A1,
ma'am.
disjoint union with A2, A3, and so on. Clear? And in case of this one, you can have this one colored by this, then you cannot have these one. You can use this one, and you cannot have these one, so you can use this one, right? Then rotate this. I'm just saying this to this now. Okay, rotate this. Taking this as a center, just rotate this. This one. Okay. Then this will be coming to this, right? Shift here. Then this one. The next color. Next color. This one. Then you can take this, right? This, and then this one. Okay? Any other color? This one we can take. So this was done, this one. Now this one. Then this one. What about this one? These two vertices are done. These two vertices are done. Then we need this one. Clear? Next. You can have three edges, no? Maximum 3 independent edges. In K6, you have n is equal to 6. Clear? Yeah. Next is, you're done with this. Now you can take this one, then this one, and then what else? This to this. Right? This one done, this one done, this one done. Then again rotate. Which color we should take? This one. What else we are left with? So 5 degree, 5 degree, here 5 degree, 5 degree. All done in 5 degree. Any edge left? This is your K6 na? See, each vertex has 5 degree. Okay? So that's how you can form the color classes in K4, K6, or in general K2N. Okay? Clear? So what we are doing, this is how this K2N is formed. You can just take the screenshot and read about the situation. Yeah. E2N will be the whatever forms the matching or color classes, disjoint union of these one. And how many it will be? 2n minus 1. Why is it so? See, for K4 we had 3. For 6 we will be having 5 different colors, or how many? 2n minus 1, 6 minus 1. For 6 we need 5 color classes. Okay. For 8 we need 7 color classes. A to n, in general 2n minus 1. Okay. And why is it so? We are fixing one vertex in the center, other 2n minus 1 over here, right, in the circle. We are taking this. So how many edges can occur? This vertex can adjacent to how many vertices? This vertex can be adjacent to maximum how many vertices? 2n minus 1 na. So initially if we are choosing this vertex, next step we have to rotate to this one, then we have to rotate to this one, like this. How many color classes can form? 2n minus 1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting it? Yeah. Like if you are fixing in Kn, which is the color? Yeah. If you are fixing V as this one, then what do you do? 1, 2, 3. The other 2n minus 1. This is your 2nth vertex. Okay. Other 2n minus 1 are in circle. Okay. So what do you do? Because every 2 vertices are adjacent over here. So for first color class, what do? You take this to this or this to any other vertex. So this to first vertex. Clear? This to this one. Then skip this one. Second, third, 3 to 2n minus 1. Then 4 to this one, 5 to this one. Right? Okay? Or what do you do? You skipped 1 now over here. Yeah. For example, this to this. Then this was 2. This was 2n minus 1. So V2, 1. Okay? This is your third vertex. This is your 2n minus 2. This is your fourth vertex. And this is your 2n minus 3. And so on. Okay?
Ma'am.
Finally, for next color, this is one coloring. All edges forms the matching. That's why we can use the same color. Okay. For next, you just rotate by one vertex. Okay. Now this is next color will be this one. That is, this was your V. This is your second vertex, first vertex, third vertex, fourth, fifth, sixth, and this is your 2n minus 1. Okay, this is your 2n minus 2, and this is your 2n minus 3. Right? So this got set to this one. Then there will be rotation for this edge as well, right? Rotated by one edge. So this to this one, then this to this one, this to this one, this to this one, this to this one. Clear? Okay. So what we have?
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, how you convert K2n structure to that kind of structure?
K2 and I'm just taking one vertex. See, one vertex fix कर रही हूँ, okay?
Yes,
In
ma'am.
center. सेंटर में एक वर्टेक्स फिक्स कर लिया. Okay, 2nth vertex. Yeah, and the other 2n minus 1 vertices are surrounding this vertex. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? Now we want the edge coloring. We want to color all the edges of K2n. So one color, first color can be, we can use to this edge, then we cannot use to these same color, right? So what do
Yes,
you do? V to V1, then this to this, same color, this to this, okay, this to this, and this to this. This is our color number 1. Then just V is fixed. V is fixed. Okay, just rotate this 1 to 2, this edge, because every two vertices are adjacent, so no need to worry about that, whether there will be an edge or not. There will be edge, right? Every two vertices are adjacent. So for next one, what you do, V to 1, this is getting rotated to this one. Okay? So this edge will be rotated to this one, right? V to 1, then this edge will be tilted like this, right? Then this edge. This will be becoming this one. This will be becoming this one. This will be becoming this one. You can see M2. Initial, it was this one. So M2 also, all the edges of M2, this also forms the matching, M1 forms the matching. And all the edges of one matching can be colored by using one color, same color. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And M2 also we can use the second color. So first color, second color. Like this, again you rotate it. If you will rotate over here, next you rotate it, what do you get? So we can use this blue color. Yeah, next it will be V2 to V3, right? First V2 to V1, V2 to V2, 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 3 then, right? 3. Right? Then this will be, next edge will be, which one? You tell me. V2, 3, then 1 to 4, 1 to 4, right? Yeah, then 2 to 5, right? And so on, like this. Clear? Okay. So 2 to 5 we have. Then 3 to 6 you have. 4 to this edge. No. 4 to this one. Yeah. This one
7.
is 4 to 7. So we can't use 7, no? We have already done this. Okay. Are you getting me? But I'm just trying to see.
Yes, and then 4 to
4
8.
is done, no? 4 is adjacent to 1. So we are done. Then 7. Yeah. Yeah, you are right. 7. Then 7 to this one. Then which one is left? We're done with, 2 is left. 1 is done, 2 is done, 3 is done. I'm getting confused in this one. Yeah. Now this was V1, V. Okay. This is your first vertex, second vertex, third vertex, fourth vertex, fifth, sixth, and this is your 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2, 2n minus 3. Now, we have rotated from V2 1 to V2 2. Now V2 3 you can rotate. Okay. So this one I have rotated for 6. This is not M3. This is your M6. Okay. V3 will be V2 3. Then like this rotation. Okay. So M6 we are getting V2 6. Clear? This was the 6th vertex. V2 6. Then these edges, next edge will be this to this, this to this, this to this, this to this. Means to say you will get how many colors? 2n minus 1 color. Okay. And each coloring, each color class, I should say, M1, MIs are color class. Each color class have how many how many edges? Not vertices. Each color class have how many edges? In case of K2n. Yes? Tell me. In case of K2n, how many edges should be there? N edges, na? This by 2. See, 2 vertices we are using for one edge. Right? For next 2 vertices, for next edge. Next 2 vertices. So like this, each mi has n cardinality and total number of I is running from 1 to 2n minus 1. There are such 2n minus 1 number of colors or number of color classes. Clear? So total edges will be n into 2n minus 1 na? Clear? So these are disjoint. This one. So are these covered? All the edges of this one. Just check it. Covered or not? All the edges are covered or not? How many number of edges for K2n?
Yes, ma'am, covered.
Right? 2nC2. It will be 2n into 2n minus 1 divided by 2 factorial. Right? Covered all these edges. Right? So total number of colors or corresponding color classes are 2n minus 1 and each color class have cardinality how many edges? N number of edges. And like this, first fix one at the center and then rotate. On the rotation basis, you can color it. Clear? That is I have written over here. Understood? Next is your multiplicity. And multiplicity, what? Multiplicity of edges count. Okay. Suppose we have 2 vertices in a graph A and B. So how many edges are present with the endpoints A and B? That will be the multiplicity of edge AB. Okay, multiplicity denoted by mu. So what is the multiplicity of AB? How many edges? 2 na? Now 3. What about multiplicity of AC?
1.
1, right? So that's your multiplicity, and that is also affecting the coloring. That is chromatic index. Yeah, in any graph, yeah, this should be loopless. Otherwise, what do you do? What do you do? Multiplicity of A and A, right?
Ma'am, B and B.
B and B. In general, any vertex B and B. Okay, so this is loopless graph we consider. In this one, multiple edges we counted. That will be your multiple edges with the vertex pair x and y with the endpoints x and y. That will be your multiplicity of this edge. Okay. So there will be multiplicity m if there are m edges with the endpoint x and y. Okay. So our notation is x comma y, not x y, not comma. Or you can also denote by yx. Multiplicity of edge x y. Why? We are having undirected graph, so we can write x y or yx, doesn't matter. Yeah. Multiplicity of graph. This will be your maximum of edge multiplicities. This is your edge multiplicity. Okay, and you count for all such pairs, all the edges. Okay, and maximum of that will be your, like we counted as degree of every vertex and then maximum degree, right? So same way maximum will be corresponding to the graph. Okay. Now, in the vertex coloring, when we were coloring the vertices, does the multiplicity affect chromatic number?
No, ma'am.
No, right? Because they are adjacent in this one. And now, also adjacent. You can have 3 edges, also adjacent. We need to use different color, right? 1 and 2. In this one also, we need to use different color. In 2 edges also, 2 multiplicity also, we need to use different color. But in case of chromatic index, this effect, right? Whenever there is one edge, as this is edge coloring, right? So when one edge, we need one edge, one color, right? Whenever the multiplicity increases, number of colors also increases, right? We need to color with the different color, right? We need to assign different color. 1, then it should be 2, right? If 3, then 3. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. If you are given a loop in any graph, can you find any proper coloring? Does there exist any proper edge coloring
No,
on the
ma'am.
graph with a loop?
No, ma'am.
No, right? So here you try to color by using blue color. Okay. Then what about this one? You cannot color blue color, right? So in edge coloring, we use the loopless graphs. Okay, that is for loopless graph. There can exist proper edge coloring. Clear? Some example for which we have chromatic index. We have done this. Chromatic index is at least your maximum degree, right? And for simple graph, it was at most delta plus 1, right? And for other graphs, it can have delta plus mu. Mu denotes the multiplicity. See, in simple graph, it was just multiplicity was 1, right? Multiplicity of G was 1. That's why delta plus 1. But here, multiplicity will be maximum number of edges, maximum edge multiplicity, right? That is maximum number of edges. That is maximum number of multiple edges between pairs U and B. Okay. So its minimum bound, lower bound is delta again, and maximum bound is delta plus mu. Okay, delta G plus mu G. And one more lower bound you have. This is 3/2 delta G. Okay, 3/2 delta G. How you can just check it for this multigraph. Okay. This is your Fett triangle. Okay, because of these multiple edges, this is known as Fett triangle. Okay, find the multiplicity. Find the chromatic index for this one and verify for this multigraph. This is also loopless multigraph. Check whether this condition holds or not. These inequality holds or not. That is, chromatic index is greater than delta. That we have already checked. You can just check the upper bound, delta plus mu, and 3/2 delta by that is delta. Okay, capital delta. What about multiplicity? All these edges cannot be used. We cannot use the same color to these edges as well as these edges, right? So these edges both the endpoints are same. But these edges, if we consider these edges both, these layers are white, so we cannot use the same color. Okay? Clear? And here as well. So these edges are pairwise intersecting, pairwise incident. If you take any two edges and they are intersecting, okay? They are incident. They have some common vertex. Clear? That's why you need, because these are pairwise incident, pairwise having common vertex. So if you take any two edges, you need different colors. Clear? You need different colors now. If you pick up any two edges, this one or this one, this one or this one, any two edges. So how many minimum colors equal to the total number of edges? Can you count it? How many edges are present?
12.
12. So it will be 12. See, in KN we had pairwise adjacent vertices. Clear? Pairwise adjacent vertices. That's why we used different color to color all the vertices, right? Every two vertices. These are pairwise adjacent, and here also the edges are pairwise adjacent. That's why we need to color it by using different color. So that's why it is coming as M. Okay, and for this one it was N. Okay, chromatic number for Kn was N. And here whenever pairwise adjacent edges, incident edges, then it will be M, number of edges. Okay, and here number of edges are 12. You can verify it. This is coming as 3 by 2 delta of G. What is delta of G? Maximum degree of this vertex?
8.
8 and 8, right? And this is 12 is 3 by 2 into 8, right? Delta G is also 8. Regular graph? Yeah. Is this delta plus mu? What is mu? Mu of G? Mu of this vertex A and B?
4.
4. Mu of B and C? 4. Mu of A and C? Again 4. So mu of G is again 4. Okay. So delta G is what? 8 plus 4. And this is also 3 by 2 into 8. Right? You can just check it. Coming as 12. Okay. So for multigraph, you have, in general, you are given this one, and you can check for this type of questions as well. Clear?
Yes.
You can have here one edge. Okay, in place of 4 edges, you can just have one edge. Here 2 edges, and then also check it. Okay, 2 edges, and here 4 edges. And here also one edge, here 3 edges. You can check it. You can take it and then check it whether it is coming or not. It will surely come as 3 by 2 delta of G, or the other bound will be delta plus mu G. It may be at most equal to, in this fat triangle you are having this one, because why this is a kind of equality. This was regular graph, right? And mu is also regular, right? Mu is also 4 for all the edges, right? For all the pairs. And degree is also 8. That's why it is exactly equal. For other graph, other multigraph, it may be less than this one, right? Or this one. Clear? Yeah. Next we have some definition based on whether we have. See, for bipartite graph, what we had? This is exactly equal to delta of G. For other graph, it is greater than equal to delta of G. Okay, either equal or greater. Chromatic index.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
a simple graph will be known as class 1 graph. Class 1 is said to be class 1 graph if you have this one. So tell me, all the bipartite graph are class 1, example of class 1 or not?
Yes, ma'am.
And what about kite? Is it class 1?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
had 3 and delta G is also 3. Equality also 4. So this is also class 1 graph, right? Now class 2 graph. Class 2 graph is you have equal to this one, right? See, we have done for simple graph 2 inequality only. One is lower bound, that is greater than equal to this one. For bipartite it is equal. Okay, and upper bound will be delta G plus 1. Okay, delta G plus 1. If this equality hold, then it is known as, the graph is known as class 1 graph, and if this inequality hold, then the graph are known as class 2 graph. Okay. Yeah, what about odd cycle? Class 1 or even cycle? Class 1? Even cycle? Class 1.
Class.
This one is 2, this one is 2. Odd cycle?
Class 2.
Class 2. Sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, delta G is 2 for all the cycles. And this one is coming as 3. So 2 plus 1, yes. So odd cycle, class 2 examples are odd cycle. Okay. What about PN? PN is just bipartite. Every tree is bipartite. So all the bipartite graph comes under class 1. Okay. These are just small definitions. Yeah. Next is, we have done one factor. Right? What do you understand by one factor? One factor?
Regular spanning subgraph.
One regular spanning subgraph. It is one regular. One factor is, matching is also considered as one factor, right? One regular spanning subgraph is known as one factor. Does it have one factor?
No, ma'am.
No. Sure. Does this graph have, can you,
Yes, ma'am, we can draw. If
you can draw now?
alternate edges we will take.
This one is one factor, this one is one factor. Zero factor also, two factor also, right? What about Petersen graph? Petersen graph. Does it has one factor? Okay, inside there is star one, outside there is this one, and these corresponding vertices are adjacent. Yeah. Tell me one factor. Can you find one factor in Petersen graph? If outside are UIs, these are VI, then UI and VI, right? This is your one factor. Clear? This forms the one factor in Petersen graph. Can you find two factor? Can you find C10? That does not exist any two factor. Okay, you can try it and check whether there exists or not. Now, for any regular graph means all the degree, all the vertex have same degree. Okay, as a coloring with this much number of colors will be same as decomposing into one factors. Why is it so? Yeah. See, in regular graph, how many colors you need? This one only, this much only, right? That means maximum and minimum degree will be same, right? Equal to the degree, right? So you can color this by these two edges by using, that means this one factor by using same color, and the other one factor, remaining one factor is by using the other color, and hence this is colored by using this much number of colors, right? Colored properly? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, what about this one? can you color properly by using 3 number of color? Petersson graph is what? 3 regular. So just check it whether you are able to find chromatic index is 3 or not. Okay, so same color you can use this and this one, right? In fact, no. Why? How many edges present? 15, na? 15 edges are present. So next color you can use it. This one, then you can skip it. This one, you cannot color this as by the same color. You cannot color this as, right? You can use this. And this one. Only 4. Not this one, not this one, right? Not anything else. Okay. So here it is not equal to 3. But it has one factor. Okay. The thing is, this will be possible where all the edges can be factored into one factor or not. That is, can you decompose all the edge set as combination of one factor or not? One factor f1. Okay. Another factor f2 or a1, a2. This is also one factor, and so on, right? Then you can easily do it, right? Okay, if it is R regular, then how many factors it can exist? How many one factors can exist? R number of one factor. R regular hai na? R number of edges will be there, right? So this can be into A1 only first. Then these edges cannot be, right? R minus 1 edges. Then next can go to second, third. So like this, you can have R number of one factors in R regular graph. And this is also happening in special type of graph, that is one factorable graph. That means one factor at once it is exist. Okay, it is existing. For example, in Petersson graph also, you can have UI and VI. All those 5 edges you can have one factor. But what else? If you remove all these, are you able to find the another one factor and then another one factor? Then does that exist? Answer is no, that does not exist. In case of C4, there exists. If you remove these 2 edges, this is forming the one factor. The remaining is one factor again. Okay. In case of K4, this one, these 2 edges forms the one factor. Okay. Diagonal edges forms the one factor. You remove this one, again you remove this one, and then the remaining these 2 also forms the one factor. Okay, so this type of graph where you are able to write EG as disjoint union of one factors. Okay, disjoint union of one factors, then it is known as one factorable graph. कि one factor exist कर रहा है, उसके बाद भी उसको remove करने के बाद भी exist कर रहा है, उसको remove करने के बाद भी exist कर रहा है, right? Clear? In R regular, it was 3 regular, so 3 one factor exists. One is diagonal, one is these 2 edges, another is these 2 edges, right? In this possible, there is 3 number of colors you can use, right? That is equal to delta G. Are you getting it? So that's why I'm just saying the edge coloring with this much number of color is decompose EG into one factor, edges of G into one factors. Clear? And whatever the process I was trying to explain, that is known as one factorization. That is the decomposition of a regular graph into one factors. That means C4 we have two one factors. One is these two edges forms the one factor, and the remaining also forming the two factor. And how many? If it is R regular, it is two regular na. So two one factor exists. One is this one is this one. If it is R regular or three regular, in three regular you have these two edges forms one factor, diagonal forms another one factor, and these two edges form the another. So three number of one factor you can decompose the edges of K4, right? Similar way, if you have R regular graph, then how many one factor exist? R number of one factor exists. Clear? R number of one factor exists. Okay? And whenever you are able to decompose this regular graph into one factors, that graph is known as one factorable. So C2K, that is even cycle, is one factorable, right? Alternate edges forms the one factor, then the remaining edges forms the one factor. What about Kn? K3 forms the one factor? No. K4, yes. K2, yes. K6, yes. So K2K, that is even order, it forms the one factor, right? And how many one factor? 2n minus 1. Clear? That's why we were able to find how many one factors or how many matching for K2n, 2n minus 1, right? Mi exists. And how many number? 2n minus 1 of such set exist. And all those matching forms the one factor. Clear? Matching and one factor same. And each cardinality has n. Yeah. Give me one example which is not one factorable. In your cycle, you can just take C3, K3. Does there exist one factor? No. Petersen graph is one factorable? No. Initially, there exists one factor, but after that, if one factor, if you just take out all those five edges, then no further one factor. And one factor का मतलब ही क्या है? Decomposition of a regular graph into one factor. That is, you are able to write EG as the union of one factors. One factor. Okay, A1. This is also one factor. This is also one factor. If it is R regular, then how many one factor exist? R number of one factor exist, right? Clear? So for G2K plus 1, you have this cannot be factored. Okay, the edges of C2K plus 1, that is odd cycle, cannot be decomposed into one factors. Clear? That's why you can have this as delta plus 1. This is equal to delta plus 1. Class 2. Clear? Class 2. I told you. Here. Class 2. All the odd cycles. Clear? Whenever it is class 1, it is equal. Clear? So that's the end of this one. Tomorrow we'll discuss, or next class we'll discuss this one. Okay? On Wednesday. Exercise part. Thank you all. I stop here. सबके सब सो गए क्या?